Huh?
The mayor, that camera, that camera.
No, you looking at.
Yeah, no, I know. Like focus was that your concern?
Oh no, that camera, your camera. It's like
Going in and out of focus.
yeah, I don't know what's trying to. It might be that Christmas tree.
Tree's moving.
So we live now. All right, let me get ready.
Should I move?
No, you good. It's not bad. All right, we live now. Welcome to ATL Talks, Atlanta #1 streaming urban talk radio station, where you can tune in right here on atltalks.com or on our app located in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. You are tuned into Keeping It Real Politically. This is your host, Antonio Hicks, aka Escaping the Matrix, where we talk about all things news today. I have back in the studio Mr. Jersey. Welcome back.
How's it
See,
going?
I need to give you the full name anymore.
Jersey from Georgia coming at you. Just doing some, post-mortem after a long week, that's for sure.
It was a long week, but she was out for a good reason though.
Right.
For last week.
And the week's not over. We have another. This week is going to last 4 weeks.
Oh, yeah, this way. Yeah, but your person, he was out. So he was out supporting. I'm not even talking about Rua. What's her last name?
We're Roman.
Roman, yeah.
Yeah.
And she won.
Awesome, yeah, awesome.
I sent her a message. I don't know if she listening now, but she didn't respond back to my message. But that's okay, because we don't talk to her like that.
She's a little busy. I was actually at her watch party, so that was good stuff. It was, I chose wisely. She won basically mathematically before the day even started, and so but she did a great job. I'm a big fan of hers, and so that was one plus mark. But again,
I'm glad she won her campaign, because the person who's running up against was dirty as hell.
Oh,
he was terrible.
It's awful. It's just one of those things. I'm not even repeat like some of the stuff he said.
No, he's very, very racist.
Vile.
Yeah.
Vile person.
Do I want to say racist?
Oh, it's racist.
Yes, it's racist. It was racist.
Calling.
Yeah, terrorists. Yeah.
Terrorists.
Yeah. Like my man actually made a flyer. He sent a ad out to say that do you want to support a terrorist running for office? Oh, it was terrible.
On the literature.
Yeah, it was.
How do you do that? And I know. I mean, Rua's awesome. She's about as sweet as you can be. She loves Taylor Swift and everything else. It just she's awesome. One of the best people I've ever met.
Yeah.
I can honestly say that. And that's just terrible. It's just awful. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad for everybody else, because everybody else lost.
Yes, that's kind of what I alluded to. I kind of chose wisely, but
I mean, the person I was supporting, because when I left here Tuesday, I was supposed to go to Ryan Cox's watch party. I just wasn't feeling it, man. I went in the greatest moods, and I think I was having a sinus infection. I had like a blazing headache, and it was and I got caught up here because Darius Butler was here. I don't know if you know Darius. He ran for congressional district. I think it's 10.
Oh, I know. I've met him, but more to the fact that I have definitely shaken hands with him.
Yeah.
If I was in front of him and we wouldn't know each other.
Yeah, I was trying to leave out because I'm like, my head was hurting really bad, and I was in a piss poor mood because my head was hurting extremely bad. But I ended up getting caught up with him because he had his watch party here, and then he had his mom here, so I ended up talking to his mom, and then I didn't say the whole time, but I talked to his mom and then talking to his family members, and I get some of the people that donate towards his campaign. So we was I was BS around with them for a little while. Then I had to get up out here and go home because I text, and I felt bad because first of all, everybody wants you to come out to their watch parties.
Yeah.
At least I got a bunch of them. I can't say everybody because not everybody feeling me like that, but I got a bunch of them to come out to. And if I was gonna pick anybody, I was gonna pick Ryan because I was supporting Ryan because he ran in my district. He ran in my district. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those things. And if you're those of you on radio aren't seeing me kind of look up and thought as he's saying that, everyone's, we got to go to all these. I think Antonio and I, we've yet to discuss this, but I think both of us have kind of a reticence to, and we said kiss the ring, but just rah-rah, I went to Rua's, and I'm saying this specifically, I guess I like her election policy, but I like her as a person. She has been.
Yeah, she's sweet.
I know her personally, and I'll chat with her over, and we can talk music and Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
If go higher up, whether it be Warnock or Obama comes in town, I have no interest.
Yeah, it is.
I have zero. I don't care. And because I'm not gonna sit down next to and ham it up about anything,
Because it to me, I hate going because I get invited to those too.
Yeah.
And it's not from people in their staff; it's people that's helping them out on Cam T. I love Cam T. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know. Who Cam? Really?
Cam T.
She's really active in the. I think she's really active in Gwinnett. She was very active in Gwinnett.
Okay, what's her full name?
I think it's Cam T. Is it Ashling? I can't think of her last name.
Okay.
But I honestly believe, because she kept inviting me out to all kind of Warnock stuff. I think she worked on Warnock's campaign. Well, not just me. I'm sure she was inviting, people that she knew in her Facebook group. And I'm just like, I'm one of them people to where ain't no beef against her. I mean, she's a very sweet person, and she's great when she works exceptionally hard. I just don't. I'm not here to clout chase. I think
I could care less.
Yeah, I think I've expressed it.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've expressed it a lot on this show. And if y'all listen to my podcast, I've said it a lot on my podcast. I don't clout chase for anybody.
No.
If I'm coming to anything that you have, it's because I support you and your message and I know you. Anything outside of that, if I go, I'm typically invited, but it's not for me to actually meet that individual that's running for office for a higher position so I can get a picture with them to post on my social media. That's just not my thing. That is not my thing.
No, I just lining up, and I've been to a bunch of events with Raphael Warnock or John Ossoff or Stacey Abrams. People line up to get a picture. I don't care.
Yeah, it's not that important to me. Like, even if it was President, I would love to meet President Obama and First Lady Michelle, but I'm not waiting in line to get a picture with them.
If he's gonna give me 5 minutes to just talk about it could be talking about sports. I can man up and do that.
I'll do that. I would be excited to do that.
It doesn't have to be politics. It could be about something fun.
Yeah, but I don't want to talk politics.
For me, get in line, shake hands, click next.
No, I'm not.
It's just I have no interest. I know, but on the other side though, I appreciate their need for that though. So I do. For those of you out there, and don't make me talk you out of going. Please go. So
we're saying us. I'm saying I don't. Yeah, I'm not there for that. I'm really not there for that.
No.
If I am there, I'm there to hear about what's your agenda and whatnot. I don't care about the crowd. I don't care about any of those things. I want to hear your policy, what your agenda is. I'm there for my own political reasons, and then I'm going.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not waiting in no lines. I'm not trying to handshake with anybody else that's there unless somebody is to stop me and want to talk to me. But I do meet and greets at other events.
Yeah,
I do networking. I'm sorry, I do networking at other events.
I mean, I like festivals. I like when you set booths and fun with that, where you meet people one-on-one, have conversations. But yeah, like I just, like Rua texted me and I brought up pie. Like I literally brought up pie to her watch party. On a personal basis, that's fine. But just and if again, I just don't want to dissuade anyone from going to those events because I love it when 1,000 people show up to say hi to Stacey or Obama, whoever it is. I'm glad you do that, so I don't have to.
Yeah, it is. And then there's other stuff that comes along. Like, what was one? I went to one of Stacey's. The one she had out in Lilburn. I got upset over, but I still went out there. And one lady was like, I think she was from Mississippi. Mm-hmm. And she was like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're running. I've been supporting your campaign all the way out in Mississippi." She said, "I'm not even from here, but I love you. I love what you're doing." I was like, "You don't know a goddamn thing about Stacey." And I was like, "Ain't no disrespect to her." She was like, "You really don't." I was like, it's the clout because she's made her runs around the country.
Yeah.
She's been to the talk shows and stuff. But I was like, even if she won, any policy that she implemented here will have no effect on you because you in Mississippi. Yeah. Now, do I mind about donations? I mean, I absolutely take the donations. I mean, sure. I mean, because hell, half the donations that we get ready to talk about now come out of California and other places. Mm-hmm. They barely come out of the state of Georgia.
It's important, like the Stacey thing. I mean, there's a difference between Stacey and Warnock. We have to compartmentalize that because Stacey is the governor of Georgia. And really has almost zero influence outside the border. Now, the work she does is. You
don't think so?
Not zero is a strong word, but like. Policy-wise, government-wise, it really doesn't mean anything. Especially in comparison to Warnock. Like, Warnock is not really as an officer of Georgia, yes he is, but he's more of a federal officer.
Yeah.
The senators, he's a part of a group of people that dictate federal policy across the country.
Yeah.
Not Georgia. Whereas Stacey is the governor of Georgia. Like, her policy decisions will not affect them. No direct effect. Now she does work on like her the Blue Project where voting rights and everything else. She does a lot of other things that are kind of groundbreaking and are influential. But for direct policy, it's Warnock is the federal officer, Abrams is the officer of the state of Georgia.
Yeah, I guess I'm a partially disagree with you on that because I think governors hold more control and more power to cause influence than the actual federal official. Because policies, it comes down to the state anyway. So prime example, when the right wing governors, when they wanted to challenge the elections, and you had DeSantis and all the other ones they wanted to. They got the federal judges want to block a lot of stuff to say, okay, we're gonna make all these changes when it comes down to the poll. Yeah, that does cause potential change to take place across the whole country because now you started a movement.
Sure.
So now other governors would come in behind you, whereas a federal official, I don't care if you sit in the House, I don't care if you sit in the Senate. Yeah, you're there to cast your vote. Yeah, you can actually write up policy and bills and get other people to come in and support them or whatever. But at the end of the day, I mean, well, we all know this. I mean, all the stuff is done at the state level, so
I think
all stuff is done at the state level.
You're right. I mean, I don't mean it that way. I guess I mean more specifically as far as the definition of duties. Like I said, influence. You're right. But like all those things you talk about. I mean, hell, I think Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Arizona are still fighting the 2020 election.
Yeah.
And that's.
Yeah.
But I think just that as far as, like I said, I think I've got mixed words between two things. One is influence, one is actual policy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So he can't create actual policy versus Stacey just.
Warnock does not represent Georgia, he represents the United States of America. So does every other senator, by the way.
Yeah.
He's from Georgia. Georgians elect him. That's cool. I think he has a toe in like the state of Georgia, or just directly trying to help out Georgia specifically.
Mm-hmm.
But really, the senators, even Congress, people in Congress, representatives, they're federal officers. Yeah. It'd be cool if Lucy McBath, who just got elected in I think number 7.
Yes.
Like that. Like she represents.
You funny. You think number 7?
Yeah. And she represents that district.
She does represent the district.
And that's the smaller thing. She's a federal officer. I don't remember a single congressman. I've met congressmen before, but them actually attributing policy to
well, and that's what's wrong. They're supposed to.
Yeah, that's what they're supposed to do. But that's not what. That's
not what they do. Yeah.
That's not the reality.
Yeah, they're supposed to. I think that's one thing that was really pissing me off the most is because we were talking about it before you came in, like we're here today, and I was like, it agitates the stew out of me when people say, well, that's my senator, that's my congressman, and for the ones that's not doing nothing, no, you chuckle because it is funny, and I'm like, but they're not doing nothing. Like, do you even know what they do? Because I'm like, you say that, but you don't even know what they do and what they're supposed to be doing. Because I'm like, if you don't ever see your congressman, like even if you don't even go to a town, but you never see your congressman, that should be a concern for you. Like that really should be a concern. Like you never see him or her around a kid. I'm like
faking it.
Yeah, because that's what. And we're gonna get on numbers. We're gonna get on the money. But I mean, that's why. Because like people say, well, what would you do if I had got elected? I was like, my habits aren't changing. The only thing I might hire is some security. Because I'm like, I like to eat.
Oh, yeah, I'm going everywhere.
Yeah, I'm going everywhere. I'm like, I'm not changing up my lifestyle. I'm like, hell no. If you're going to see me, you're going to see me in the street somewhere. You're going to see me in my district. You're going to see me in the city of Atlanta. You're going to see me at the Commerce Club, which I love the Commerce Club. I mean, you got to have a membership to get up in there. But still, you'll see me at the Commerce Club. So I'm like...
Everyone will know what kind of car.
Yeah, you're going to see me. And it's like, because I'm not trying to hire from anybody. Antonio is not changing just because he got a title now and he can actually make changes in a community and across the cost of the country. I'm not changing. I'm still going to be Antonio.
And it bothers my mind that doesn't happen because, like, in my sugar plums and rainbows and everything else, finding that position, if I got elected, just like Senator Jersey or Congressman Jersey, all right, well, like that would be the fun part.
Yeah.
Like let's get out of the office and just go down to Shelley's meat shack and have some barbecue or whatever. It doesn't. Yeah. That's the fun part.
And yeah, you're gonna get the ones that's gonna try to trash talk you and stuff. Okay. I mean, it's so different than regular celebrity. People don't like the celebrities and they give them hell. And stuff. I don't, because I'm like, I understand that comes with the job. I mean, but that could be you start a corporation and people don't like how you run a corporation. They see you out and about and they start harassing you. To me, that's the only thing I would change is hire more security. So when people start getting belligerent security. Get him up out of here. Yeah.
But yeah, I just like I said, that's kind of my point. Like where the state officers. I got an argument 2 years ago with Warnock when someone was complaining, and I won't say from the other party. It wasn't an officer. It was just a citizen, and a bunch of citizens that I know were right-leaning and really mad about how outside influence was being addressed into the senatorial race. Mm-hmm. Like, well, yeah, because Warnock will have just as much influence on a guy in Jersey or Montana or Alaska as their own senator.
Yeah.
It has just as much influence. It's
Yeah.
the same vote. So I get the whole point of everyone coming in, and I know that's kind of the direction we're about to go.
So yeah, so I made a post because it irked the hell out of me. And since we're talking about Warnock, it came from Warnock.
Sure.
Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, he don't know because I mean he's just out doing his political thing, talking and having speaking engagements. So he don't know what his campaign staff is sending out. But I'm like, because we're both active in politics, we know how to go look at people's numbers. And I'm like, you send me a text message asking for a donation, and I know you done raised over $250 million, and your elections have only been like barely a year apart. I'm like, why are you sending me a text message? But then the text message, I think what pissed me off the most about it was, he said Herschel raised $37 million and help us to catch up to him, or something to that degree. And I was like, and I can't curse on here, but I'm sitting here like,
We have to find our own curse word.
yeah. I'm like, you know what? Well, what's a good curse? I mean, let me get a good country curse. Ham biscuits.
All right.
Because I'm like, dude, you raised 300. Well, they say, but per FEC on the FEC site. Now it could be. Now other news agency reported he raised 363 million in total. On the FEC campaign page, he's raised over 250 plus million.
Okay.
Not quite at 363. Now that 363 could be what he had reported up. Truthfully, but still, nevertheless.
Between a quarter and a third of $1 billion.
Yes. Why are you pointing out to me what Herschel has raised, which is only $37 million, and you've raised this year alone over $151 million? I'm like, to me that weight don't, but the average person don't know how to look stuff up.
Right.
So when you send a text message out, which is a text message blast, you send it out, so most people would be like, oh my God, I like you. I want you to win because we want to be in control of the Senate, and we don't want crazy. I'm trying to find out my Marbles Walker to get up in there. So let me give you some money. Yeah, he has. Yeah, he's still looking for his marbles. He ain't found them all yet.
Oh, I don't care what anyone says. I went to school at University of Georgia, and I don't care right, left, or center. Like, that is an incompetent. He's his own personal crime wave.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
It's the worst. He's a monster.
Yes.
He just is, and this is not hyperbole. Like, I can't say this about anybody.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to.
In my mind, like, this is just. I don't care what if he's wearing a blue shirt, I'd say it's him.
No, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to bash Senator Warnock. I'm just.
Let's get to the point, though.
Yeah, because I'm like,
Warnock's asking for money. So,
yeah.
So let me answer this.
Okay.
So this is a very good question, but I think we have to narrow it down.
Okay.
Now, are you mad at how much money Warnock has raised? Are you mad at the fact that Warnock is asking you for money?
No.
Are you mad at or is it just the system? Because I don't blame Warnock for this.
No. That's what I say. I don't blame him. I like Warnock. I want him to win. He's going to win, but I want him to win.
Yeah. Well, he's not going to win. He's not going to win.
No, that's what I said. That's why I clarified it. I know it's not coming from him. It's coming from his camp. They're just doing what they're told to do. They got to raise money. Sure. What I didn't like was the messaging that came along with that to try to make it seem as though to me it's manipulative. To try to make it seem as though Herschel has outpaced him. And you and he needs more of your money to catch him up to Herschel. And I'm like, come on now. I was like, now overall, hell no. We need to get money out of politics. That's really what my post was about.
Oh, absolutely.
We got to get because I pulled
some numbers too.
Yeah, I pulled the numbers up. They said that at the end of 2022, we were projected to spend that they've raised over $16.7 billion. And that's not all the numbers hadn't even come in yet. $16.7 billion across the entire country for races.
That's way more than I thought. So that's raised, not spent. I guess that's
it's raised.
Because the number I got was this was a 4 weeks old number. It was 9.3 billion.
Yeah, so I'm talking about
and that's a raise, but that's a difference from the what I got was 9.3 billion versus 5.7 billion from 4 years ago. So,
yeah.
So again, midterm race. And then you're saying it's almost double that.
it is, and that's not even fun. And that's not really all the numbers haven't come in yet.
Right.
Because deadlines have not hit yet. Deadlines don't come up until December.
Right.
So I'm like,
that's probably
So I'm like, you're talking about $16.7 billion that's been raised, not spent out. That's been raised. So that money, even if it hasn't been spent out, the money's still there in their account. Right. That's a lot of freaking money.
Oh God, yeah.
That's a lot of just to run for office. So I did now.
And that's across all campaigns.
Yes, all campaigns in the United States.
Because one of that includes the Secretary of State.
Oh yeah.
Secretary of State were
sheriff races.
Where I saw this blurb again. I wish I could cite sources, and I'm taking these. These are all abouts, like roughlies. In the United States, this election term was $50 million was spent on Secretary of State's races alone. You want to talk about most benign office you can think of, but $50 million was spent on that. $10 million alone in Arizona.
Yeah,
It's for Secretary of State, which is just it really is a pencil for a very important one.
Yeah, I'm not going to downplay their position.
He doesn't have any decisions to make. He just has to follow the law. Like there isn't really policy. He has to pretty much implement what's already existed, right?
Yes.
That's a generality, and it's definitely
Yeah.
oversimplifying it. But to spend that much money on that position is amazing.
It's a lot of control though. You're talking about grants and everything else. It's a lot of control.
There's a lot of control, sure. But like we're talking about the overall scheme of things, and just like the money in politics is absurd.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's absolutely absurd.
It's stupid.
And we can trace this back. It was I think the first I can't remember the case. We can try to find it. It was 1971 when they finally said, money in politics can be shady. We should
Absolutely
put some locks on this because it doesn't take any of us to figure out like $18 billion spent on politicians making choices on our behalf. Like, well, some of those choices would be weird. Because another thing I pointed out, like I read, was again just so roughly of the donations, like a third of all money that's donated is the less than $200 donation. That me and you.
It's a smart donation. Yeah.
Oh, so the other 2/3 of that is spent by about 200 people.
Yeah.
So
corporations.
Yeah. 200 people spend the rest of those donations. That's
Yeah.
So if you want to tell me
they're buying people.
Yeah. So you want to tell me that money is free speech, Citizens United? Then I'm sorry. I think we can all get on board on this. Like this should be easy. This is low ball.
Yeah.
This is softball. We all agree. 18 billion is too much.
It's too much, man. And I think that's what was really frustrating me the most, because I'm like, again, I don't have no problem with, I can't stand Herschel Walker. I want Warnock to win.
Yeah.
And I didn't make that post to say, okay, you should go out and vote for Walker. And if anybody's listening and you saw my post on Instagram, please don't take that, because you should go look at the other posts where I was clowning Walker. So please don't take it as that. I just don't like the manipulative efforts, because I'm caustic for what it is. I don't care if it's Democrat, I don't care if it's Republican, I don't care if it's Libertarian, but they've been getting tore up. They barely raised for the governor race alone. It's not funny, but they only barely raised like $7,000.
Oh, the Libertarian?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Well,
don't forget, that's it kind of goes exactly what they believe, right? No money in there. They're doing what they believe, right?
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I understand it takes money to run a campaign.
Yes.
It does take money to run a campaign.
Yes.
Does it take that much? Absolutely not. I don't. Especially the Senate race here in Georgia, $363 million here in Georgia. Like, come on,
All right, well,
Georgia.
Now I'll say this race. Now I will throw a bone here. In that this is a very toxic, just battle. This was kind of for the power of the Senate, so it was a critical battle on each side.
Yeah.
Right. And this is against a monster. So we can easily campaign against this guy.
Yeah.
Right? And I can easily dude, you do not want this guy. So please send me what you got. And I think a lot of this is just pad the paycheck for 6 years from now. Because that's what they're doing. That's what they do a lot of that too.
Well, yeah, because
so they're taking their strike allowance high. We can get as much donations, if possible. I hate to say make money but it's true.
Yeah, it's making money.
But like we could put as much money in a war chest now. The more we put in now, we can check our out. People want to do it. Let's go ahead and take advantage and just load up that war chest as much as possible. So 6 years from now, we have that much easy to go.
But the other problem I have with it too, especially here in Georgia, and then the problem I did have with Stacey Abrams' camp, actually all of them. Obviously, I almost cursed. All of them.
And biscuits.
You raises money, but you didn't really boost the local candidates, which you should have been boosting the local candidates.
Agreed.
And there is no violation to donate between campaigns. Like, there is no limit to donate between campaigns.
Right. But there is weird stuff.
No, what weird stuff?
Because because
I can get any campaign.
The campaigns are cool with that, but again, everyone's self-serving, and I get that too.
Yeah.
I understand that too.
Yeah.
But her support should have been more showing up at events for people in trouble.
Who?
Her support should have been not necessarily writing checks.
Yeah.
But like actively like, here's Jasmine Clark, Dr. 108.
Yes.
Like that. I think and not only that, that works better for her anyways.
Right.
It's just a better strategy. Never mind that it's the right thing to do, but it would be better for Stacey.
And that was the argument. So I watched this guy on YouTube, Brian Tyler Cohen's. He's pretty big on YouTube, and it's other I forget. I hate because I watch this stuff all the time too. They deal with politics, and they got millions of subscribers. But I got into a debate with one of his. So he does this show one time once a week where his callers call in and they can ask him political questions or they can have a political talk. So one of the guys called in. This guy called in, and he was commenting on the race here in Georgia and about Stacey Abrams. So he asked him about it. And I was like, well, first of all, why would he even have an opinion as far as what happened here in the campaign? Because he's not even from the state, so he don't necessarily knows what happened here in the state of Georgia. So the guy says, well, in my opinion, he said I'm in Georgia. He said, well, I believe Stacey. This one made me mad about him because I left a comment. I don't typically leave comments. Stacey Abrams, she didn't get out enough and she wasn't everywhere. And I was like, I call BS on that. Because same thing I said about Warnock. I was like, I call BS on all of that. I said Warnock and Stacey, what's the name? B-Win, like all the rest of them, they were everywhere. They literally were everywhere. I said, now the problem, in which I did leave in the comment, I said the problem I had when it came to Stacey's camp is like you just said, if you come to my part of town, I'm a candidate running, you come to my part of town, everybody knows who you are. Yeah. So you should be the carrot that draws people in. But the conversation once people get there is to talk about the candidates that's running in the local area. Because my puzzle can't be completed unless I have the other candidates that win to help me complete it out. And that way you can see the full picture of what it is that I want to do here in the state of Georgia.
Absolutely. That is beautiful and everything, because I think you're 100% right. Like, that goes against we're veering off the money, which is fun. We're talking about campaign strategy.
Yeah.
And this is...
Because at the end of the day, it's still about money too.
I can't tell if this was a deliberate mess up or what they were doing, but I think it's also a weakness in general for the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
And so when it comes down to Democrats, the thing is Republicans are going to show up regardless. It doesn't matter. You don't have to know an answer. The Democratic voter wants to know who that is, all the way down to like I said, Jasmine Clark, whoever that 108. If you get the Democrat to vote for Jasmine Clark 108, you're getting her to vote for Stacey.
Yes.
You're getting you got that. Democrats that they were backwards. They work from top down. It doesn't work that way.
No.
Like the Stacey people are going to vote for Stacey. Democrats say, well, if you have a DNA, you're going to vote for Stacey. But if you get that person to vote for Jasmine Clark, you got that Stacey vote in the bag. And
I made that point to Darius Butler when he was in here talking. And he was disagreeing with me on it. And I said, people that know about Stacey gonna vote for Stacey.
Yeah.
I was like, it's guaranteed. I said, Stacey been campaigning since she lost the last election.
Yeah.
So I was like, Stacey then made all the night shows. When Oprah interviewed her, whoever know who Stacey is, they live in the state of Georgia, they gonna vote to Stacey. And if they like her outside the state of Georgia, they've been donating to her campaign because she did raise $36 million.
I think at least 3 people that don't live in the state that donate to her.
Yeah. So I'm like, yes, if she had showed up. And like I said, she needed the local people to vote for her. If she had showed up and put emphasis on the local people, to me, that in turn would have guaranteed a vote for them, for those that was undecided.
Yes.
She supports this local person over here. I like him or her. Then I'm gonna show up and support Stacey, or I'm gonna show up and support B-Win, or I'm gonna show up and support what's his name, Charles Bailey.
Oh yeah. And all those folks, all the statewide laws.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote down ballot, pretty much.
But I'll also go on the other side though, because something I learned this past week was when you look at voter turnout, it was down, and also we live in Gwinnett, so I guess in Gwinnett.
It was up, but
in Gwinnett was down.
Okay.
Okay. And so this county was down, and the way we looked at it was specifically down in non-contested races. Now, it was up where Jasmine Clark again was very contested. So she churned out a lot more Democratic votes. Mm-hmm. Anywhere it was not contested, turnout was down completely. And that's where. But also those elected officials that got elected were nowhere to be seen. They didn't even try.
No.
So there is responsibility. We have to go on both. There's a book in there, front and back too. Where if she shows up at these contested races, Jasmine Clark, you're welcome. She shows up Jasmine Clark thing, great, high fives all around. But also we need these other non-contested electeds on the lower end, your state reps, state senators, to man up and actually do some knocking on doors.
Yeah.
Some campaigning.
Yeah.
Again, it's not necessarily your race, but you think about your surrounding districts, surrounding senators, and Charlie Bailey, P. Wynn, and it's these shitty ones. Because every vote.
If your race wasn't being challenged, you should have been out there for the other candidates that made it past primaries. You should have been out for the other candidates, throwing events for them, like you said, knocking on doors, phone banking, everything.
It was completely across the board, way down as far as voter participation, except for one, Rua, by the way.
Yeah.
Who was she was the one before election day, and she was the only one that was up. That's because she was the only one knocking on doors and actually campaigning. And so it is that, and so there's two responsibilities there. If if you don't put your feet up, if you got an easy victory, but also at the high end, even more so, like Stacey and Warnock has to come down to the local level and support those as well.
Yeah, because I saw Hank at one of Warnock's events. Where was he at? Was he in Kennesaw? I think he was up in Kennesaw, and I saw Hank up there holding a sign up, and I was like, yo. See, I almost cursed again. I gotta get ham biscuits. I was like, you barely hold town halls. I was like, bro, you need to be out canvassing for the people that's running in your own doggone district. And that's why I said at the end of the day, money in politics. If they're not doing it, get them the hell out. If they aren't doing it, get them the hell out.
It's the one thing, and the other takeaway too was when it comes to, again, we're talking about the Democrat side of things. We write a lot of checks for, there's a lot of ways to spend money in politics.
Yeah.
On a campaign, we'll call it.
Yeah.
There's TV ads that we're all tired of. Hell, I love SEC Shorts. I don't know if you've ever seen those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Great comedy troupe about football. They were joking about it. About, Georgia got 3 more weeks of ads.
Yeah, it's right.
Oh, no.
And the flyers too. I'm like, dude.
So there's the flyers, there's digital ads, Facebook says, Warnock, Herschel, Warnock, there's a long list of reasons why these cost so much. The travel.
Yeah.
And I get that.
I get that. I don't get, to me when it comes to, I understand phone banking, I understand paying for canvassers, I understand all those things. But when it comes to like Facebook ads and you start talking about YouTube ads and they're running commercials, I'm like, how effective are? Because like I said, I saw them at the gym. Like the one thing I do like about when I see the gym, they play them back to back. So you don't get one flavor of person running. You get the whole dynamics. But I'm like, so your plan is like I'm in the gym in the morning. So you're talking about you playing this at like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. I was like, who really paying attention at 8:30, 9 o'clock? Well, never mind, because I guess I'm at the gym, but people watching it at home. I don't know. I think to me, some of that stuff is just, it doesn't really cost that much.
No, TV costs a ton. That's the weird part.
Yeah, I know TV does.
It's probably it's actually, I think, again, from meeting, I'm trying to respect the world. It's probably one of the least effective ways to actually earn votes, too. It's the most expensive, the number one best way, and like I said, is knocking on doors.
Because who's still watching TV?
Well, I know I watch YouTube, and I know it's on.
But you're watching YouTube. That's a streaming platform. I'm like, who's watching cable TV?
I get those.
Oh yeah, YouTube TV.
Oh no, I don't have YouTube TV, but I have just even watching YouTube.
Yeah, but that's
if I'm watching. If Antonio, go to Antonio. He's got podcasts. He's got videos up there, and you'll see our pretty faces, so you know how white I am. But
so not that way. He's not that way.
But if I'm watching one of your videos, I get an ad before I have to watch an ad.
Because you don't have a paid for subscription.
I don't have a paid for subscription, which is unfair. The vast majority do not. And I have watched, if I do an ad, guaranteed it's either Herschel or.
But those aren't as.
It's almost always Herschel.
Yeah, but those aren't as expensive as like TV. Like TV ads are expensive as hell.
They're very
not compared to like the YouTubes or Facebook ads. Because you can run. I mean, you yourself can run a Facebook ad.
I'm not in the room, but those are produced. I would put money that says, all right, TV. Yes, it's the most expensive ad. But I'll put number 2 is those ads. Anything with video. Anything with video.
So is it a production, or are you talking? I know we went pan off topic. You talking about it's production, or are you talking about to run the ad itself?
Both. I really do think so. But then after that, you have the Facebook, the push ads on Facebook.
So there y'all go. Y'all, because I'm a producer too now. Y'all that's producing. Y'all should know. Y'all need to start producing some footage for these elected officials. Matter of fact, be nonpartisan. Go get that money.
Yeah.
Don't do it for Democrat, Republican. Just do it for whoever want to add create a production thing done. Just do it for them. Don't worry about take the politics out. Put your headphones in. Just record, edit, and make that money and get out of it.
Yeah, I always said my favorite charity is Feed the Jersey Foundation.
Yeah.
Like, give me your money. But no, like again, it goes to the insidious nature of money, just in general. Like there are ways we can talk about that of like where money goes.
Yeah.
And it goes to that. It really is. There is a lot of places it goes.
It's the war chest. Like somebody asked me on like some young lady. She commented on my post and she was like, "I would love to see them donate some of that money back down to underprivileged communities, like in shelters." I'm like, they can't do that. That's illegal.
That's actually illegal.
I understand what you're saying, but that's illegal. I'm like, they can't do that.
Well, I tell you what, we should go to school real quick on the big difference between PACs and super PACs.
Okay.
Right. Like so. Like if Antonio runs, if right now if Antonio runs for office, I can write a check for $2,800 and that's it.
28?
$2,800.
I thought it was 25.
28.
20. Okay, the increase. Okay.
Awesome. So that's all I can do. And then I'm done.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all the money he can take from me. That's it. Now let's talk about super PACs.
Is it per cycle? Or is it per year? I think it's per year.
Pretty sure it's annual.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, and I think there's actually a limit to how much you can do. I have to tell everybody, but I'm
No.
I'm not certain on that.
No, it's not a limit. Yeah. So finish your point first before I say something.
But the main thing is it's actually the more insidious part is something called super PACs.
Yes.
And everyone's heard about this. You have to file paperwork, and actually, me, Antonio, and a lawyer can do it. We can create our own super PAC. Mm-hmm. Now, if Antonio's running for office, I'm gonna create my super PAC. And so me and my buddy Bob, I have a super PAC, so just me and Bob, that's it, that's a super PAC. Mm-hmm. And it's called the Super Political Action Committee, that's what it stands for. And if Jerry up the road wants to give me money, that $2,800 doesn't mean anything anymore. He can give me and Bob $100 million to write a $100 million check. And I know, like Antonio, hey Antonio, I'm gonna be your super PAC.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And so I will cash a $100 million check.
Yep.
And I can do whatever I want with that money.
Yep.
And that is how all this money has gone out of hand.
Yep.
That is, and so like I'm not allowed to actually, nod, wink, wink, give it to Antonio directly.
I can run on your behalf.
But I can spend that money however I see fit.
Yep.
And that is the biggest loophole bribery of all time. And that is, if you ever hear of a court case called Citizens United, again, this is low-hanging fruit. This is easy. Everyone should be on board, except for those 200 people billionaires that cover all these checks. Everyone should be on board for this. This is easy. No. Like I'm fine with $2,800. Let's just all right, no check can be above $2,800.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
There should be no ads on TV because they're worthless. I'm actually fine with that now. I haven't yet to see an ad that actually informed me of anything.
No, because it's always they're trying to tell this story, and I'm like, but that's not who you really are.
So,
but I think that's because. Well, you know what? I'm gonna disagree with you again on that one.
Good.
That's because we're both informed, and you have some people out there that are still trying to find their marbles too. I'm just gonna say it like that. And they pay attention to those ads, and those ads sway their votes.
Right.
And they go out and support their person. Oh, I saw their ad, and I was like, yeah, you saw something produced. Like there was a whole script. Like since we're talking about Warnock and Walker, his whole debate was rehearsed.
Yeah, and sure, I'll dial that back because it comes down to it. We're complaining about political ads now. In a way, they've always been there. The history of time.
Yeah.
50, 100 years ago, all right, everyone they had their guy. They published what they wanted to publish, and Ben Franklin was great with the printing press.
But I get your point. How effective are they? To me, they aren't. For those that are knowledgeable and actually know how to, not even know how, just go and do something. I mean, because last week when you were here, I was talking about the power of Google.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And I was like, you can Google anything. But those that don't want to, those are the ones that's influenced by those ads. Whereas the rest of us, we actually go do some searching, and then we was like, we call cap or lie on the ads you're running because your ad don't line up with how you really live. I get their point on why they do it. I don't understand cable TV now. Again, this is from a technical standpoint. Cable TV is going downhill. It's being killed off because everybody's on streaming platforms.
Regular TV, just like the show you're listening to now. I mean, I want to listen to it when I leave the studio.
Right.
That's when I'm going to listen to it. I'm not going to wait for the drive time.
Right, and that's how we, because we're older, but it's how we grew up. We had to wait for a show to come back on. Whereas now, shit, I can go back in. I can go watch something I watched years ago. I can watch on a streaming platform now, and once it airs, I can go back and rewatch it again.
When I want to.
When I want to, right?
I don't have to wait till 9 o'clock on Thursday.
No.
Seinfeld.
No, but yeah,
It's.
I'm just, I'm just frustrated when it comes to the money in politics and how it's not distributed down to everybody. Because if you think about this last campaign cycle, we had 4 main people that was getting that money.
Okay.
You know.
Like you tell me, because I don't know if it's Thomas State of Georgia or National.
Yeah, state of Georgia.
Yeah,
I'm talking about state of Georgia.
Yeah, Senator and Governor. Yeah.
And then Marcus Flowers. So you had Stacey, you had Warnock, you had Marcus Flowers. And I believe the other person was, I think it was Lucy. Lucy raised.
Lucy McBeth.
Yeah. I think she was second. I mean third. Well, she's in the.
You're talking about the Democratic side. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm talking about Democratic side.
I was like, all right, like.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I was going Stacey Brown.
But even still, though, if you talk about Republican side, they're gonna get just as much money too because they want them to win.
Right.
But so if all that money's coming in for those 4 individual people, well, what about everybody else that's asking for money? Like the local people that's running,
Right.
There's no money left to give to them.
That's true. And that's actually a big problem because that's the other thing where, again, that's a political difference where Democrats get those $2,800 donations.
Yeah.
And the super PACs are almost all aligned with, I wouldn't say all. I wouldn't say the high dollar super PACs. There's lots of, about I think 500 super PACs in the country, but all the high dollar super PACs are pretty much all Republican.
Yeah.
And so the unlimited, so you're talking about unlimited funds on one side versus the limited funds on the other. And like you said, like I'm done. I'm a working guy. I'm not writing, I can't write a $2,000 check. We're talking about the $200 check.
Yeah.
Or maybe I can scratch one out for one person. Choose wisely. Is
Yeah.
it going to Rua? Is it going to, to Warnock? Is it going to Lucy? Is it going to Stacey Abrams?
Right.
And then after that, I'm done.
Yeah. I mean, you might give, a small dollar donation, like $1 or $2, but I mean, not to say y'all money is not going anywhere. Y'all money is just as important as the $2,800 or the people that just donated $1 million in ads and stuff.
Even more so, yeah. Look
But
at Bernie,
Bernie is the king of small dollar
He
donations.
refuses the super PAC. I
Yeah.
like that. I don't necessarily agree with him on everything, but I think he's.
Oh no, I love Bernie. I love his. It's the
Yeah,
only thing I don't agree with his guns, but everything else.
I'm pretty on top of it, and he is like the most earnest. Like of all the guys out there, he's like I believe every word he says.
Yeah.
But anyways, the money thing is it's absurd, and it's just like the thing is we all agree on it.
Yeah.
But the Supreme Court and Republicans, to a Republican that's elected office, Citizens United said, money equals free speech. That's exactly what they say.
But you never get Democrats voted down either, though.
No, Democrats are against it. They are against it. Like you at least find Democrats.
You'll find some.
Oh, you'll find a lot.
It ain't gonna be a lot to make a difference though, cause like even
the thing is you need all Democrats on the same page.
Yeah.
Even if you got 70%, which I would say 50. I'm willing to go 50-50 on this.
You think so?
I would. I'm not
to get money out.
I'm talking about elected officials.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I wouldn't say 50.
Everyone below elected officials, to you and me, the average voter, it's like doesn't even matter if you're Republican.
I would say about 20%. I wouldn't say 50%.
I would definitely say 50%.
I have to see that because I'm like.
And this is complete spitball, and I don't know.
Yeah. We're both we're just throwing out percentages.
This is what
because when I think about people that want to get money out of politics, it's always the extreme left, progressive people.
Yeah.
And you don't have too many of those that's in Congress.
It's like the vote has come up, and it's always like about Citizens United, right?
Yeah.
And anyone just look up Citizens United. It's just Wikipedia. It'll be short. It's easy to understand, and it was kind of what the super PAC story.
Because man,
It's just basically money equals free speech. That's
what
the Supreme Court says, and that of course we all can say that's ham biscuits.
Yeah, because they get money from everybody. Defense contractors. I mean, they get money from everybody.
Dark money, and not only that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Like I said, Bob wrote me $100 million check.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Bob doesn't have to report it.
No, he don't.
And
this is dark.
Anywhere, anytime.
He can be anonymous,
any place. Like Saudi, actually, it can't be. No, that's one thing it can't come from is
out of the country. Yeah,
outside the country. But anyone can write me a check for any reason.
But this is they know it's from outside the country.
Yeah.
Because it can be donated for somebody to live here, and then that person can turn around and donate it, to the PAC itself. And they did try to pass a bill to have them released those names, and even the Democrats wouldn't even vote for that.
Yeah.
The Democrats was like, hell no, you know, if they get money, I want money too.
And like even that, I'm like, the Democrats are trying to overturn Citizens United.
Yeah.
Which I think is the first step. Is even now, like if you're a Democrat, like this is the, like I'm against like this free money, all out like free bribery, deal that we're talking about.
Yeah.
But if I'm a Democrat, like I love being some Bernie Sanders, he's walking the walk. But also like I don't want to do that. Well, that means the other team,
Yeah.
is playing a different sport than you are.
Yeah.
They're basically, I'm trying to think of a good analogy. They're playing in a little league park, and you're playing in a major league park, and they're just hitting home runs, and you just can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And you got to get on the same field. And so to be on the same field, you have to play the same game.
Right.
So I do understand that.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I get it.
Yeah.
But I get it and I don't get it. I mean, I get why they do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I get why they would be opposed to stopping it. Because if not stopping it. Because if you stop
The
it.
releasing of names, I get. I wouldn't mind, like, all right, let's just wait 2 years. And from then on, we have to release names. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
But
Because I'm like, it shouldn't be, they just shouldn't be anonymous. I think everybody should know about donors and stuff.
agree. I think just
Because on low-level campaigns, like if you donate to my campaign, I have to report that you donated to my campaign. I have to report it. Whether you say anything or not, I have to report it.
start today.
Yeah.
But like my point is like I'll defend the fact that like they don't want to do it now because they got some. Everyone has shady characters, but they're trying to play the same game.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Because I didn't agree with, and I do like Marcus Flowers, but I didn't agree with how much money he raised. So I was like, come on, man. I was like, come on. I was like, you from Georgia? Except John, you're not. But still, you've been in Georgia long enough. I was like, we all from Georgia. We know how their district sways, and he fought a good fight, but that fight wasn't good enough.
I like the principle of raising money bothers me. If someone raises a lot of money, I don't care. I have a problem. Like Mitch McConnell has a super PAC, super PAC, just like me. So he can't have influence. But strangely, his specific super PAC has influence in Pennsylvania, Ohio, Wisconsin, and Georgia. Why?
Yeah.
Kentucky, man. That again. There's all kinds of reasons why. Like this is awful.
But it's on purpose.
Of course, it's by design.
Yeah.
And so let's
I gotta just maintain power.
Like you're talking about like Warnock and Herschel, like Warnock's asking for money, and like that's the way it is. Like it doesn't bother me that he's asking for money. What bothers me is the system in place, and let's be specific about the problems and the specific of the system in place.
So do you agree with? Well, before you get on that,
Sure.
millions of dollars going into a race that the candidate has a strong chance of losing.
I can see why you would do that. I can. Because we have now that happened in the 7th 2 years ago. Rich McCormick, who won. He lost in the 7th against Carolyn Bordeaux. Then they rewrote the lines, and all of a sudden Carolyn Bordeaux and Lucy McBath, two incumbents fighting for the same seat. Yet another problem with elections. Like we can go down that road. And so Rich McCormick lost. They spent a whole bunch of money on that campaign in 2020.
Yeah.
And he just won in District 6 now, I believe, against Bob Christian.
Lucy's old district.
What?
Lucy's old district.
Yep. And now that was a losing campaign. So that's an example on the Republican side where they spent a ton of money on this one dude. And that was the one, 2020, that was a single seat which would flip from Republican to Democrat. And so they spent a bunch of money on Rich McCormick. Now he got name recognition, and 2 years later they ran him again, and they end up winning the seats. So I can see that. That's just an example of why. Yeah, I can see pouring money into a campaign that you probably think might lose. I can see that. There are reasons to do it. Of course, there's ethical reasons why I don't like it. It's disgusting.
And again, because I'm like, I'm not picking on.
I can defend it. I get why. And
I'm not picking on Marcus. I mean, I don't know him personally, but I'm not saying anything bad against him. I'm glad he ran against the chick because she dumb as hell too, and she need to be sat down. But
well, you know who he is, right?
Marcus Flowers.
No, you know his name. Now I know his name. Everyone out there knows Marcus Flowers' name. So 2 years from now, Marcus Flowers. Hey man.
I knew who he was for this because he'd been running this race. Hell, he been campaigning on this for like 3 years.
There you go.
Yeah, he been campaigning. Because I knew him before he really was really aggressive in getting his name out there.
Yeah. And so,
Because he wasn't picked as the primary person, and this is just to get off topic a little bit.
Sure.
He wasn't picked as the primary. It was another young lady that was running, and that's who, even the people that I'm cool with in Indivisible, they was supporting her. They was like, no, we would never see this guy win in primaries. He ended up winning in primaries. But yeah, no, I mean,
it's one of those, again, we're talking about a lot of the problems of politics.
so
that one is
so
like,
we still on money.
right.
At the end of the day, campaign's done. It's over with. Where should the money go? If they lost.
So actually, that's a good question. See, if they lost, where does the money go? Actually,
Back to the party.
goes back to the
Either
party, right?
either they can go back to the party, it can go to another candidate,
Another
which
candidate.
I think it should go to candidates,
Right.
or it can do they can do refunds, or they can have a war chest if they plan on running again.
So refunds, by the way, are not happening ever.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
So that's just funny that you mentioned that. And I would say other candidates. I guess it's discretionary. So at that point, it's almost discretionary by the person himself, or if he's got higher ups. Which, let's be realistic. If you're running for a state senator job and you lost, odds are you had people from the statewide party kind of looking down, kind of coordinating things. Like, hey, we'll take that money for all the
Absolutely.
all the work we did.
And I wouldn't give it to
And
him.
I understand. I even understand.
I would not give it to him.
So I guess it's much more candidate specific. Where it goes, it just if it can temper another race, fine. As long as it doesn't go into pocket, which of course we have a former president that did that.
Yeah. He did that. Yeah. And did not get in trouble for it.
That's about the worst that could possibly happen.
Yeah. Because I don't even see how. Because it was Ted Cruz. He did it, and FEC did an investigation against him. And he still got away with it. Like he said, he took out a loan for $100,000 of his own money, $200,000 of his own money, and he wanted to pay himself. Which you can, legitimately speaking, you can. I mean, it's still got to be approved, but you can do that. So if you took out a
As
loan,
long as it's the candidate himself, yes.
yes. But he still got in trouble for it. I mean, they did an investigation and they found him guilty, but then it happened to him.
I feel like I don't like. I mean, everyone I think understands where I stand, but I feel like I don't want to dirt Republicans, but it just feels like Republicans are like the new NCAA. We're like if you don't even watch college sports, where 15 years ago, like college sports, I'm LSU, we're sectioning ourselves and we're sitting our quarterback because something shady happened. And now we're like, oh, he did it. We don't care. We're playing him. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
And NCAA doesn't do anything now.
No.
Republicans are like, oh, we're indicting you. Well, I'm not gonna show up.
Yeah.
Like I don't care.
Yeah. And
like, they're just not even participating.
So we need to wind down.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, because I'm about to get on the tangent too. Because they get away with murder and nothing. Oh, I'm not showing up for you can subpoena me, but I'm not going to show up. Yeah, it's illegal. I should go to jail, but what are you going to do? Nothing.
Like we're talking about the last two impeachments of whoever.
Yeah.
And listen, we present this evidence. No, we won't let you. We have a lot of evidence. Don't care.
Yeah.
We're not listening to it.
Nope.
Wow. Okay. That's how it works. Okay.
For them, not for us.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. Yeah, I really want to talk about this because I did make a post about it because it irked the hell out of me. I understand asking. I mean, because it's really not even against the candidate because the candidate is just out doing the candidate's work. It's the campaign. I understand the asking. I just don't like manipulation. Like, don't try to manipulate me when it comes to talking about money and money being raised. Oh, this person outpacing me, but I can pull up your numbers and see that they're not even close to the amount of money that you've raised. So, and it's what's really crazy now. I will say this before I get off. It's crazy that you ask for so much money, and then the little bit of money he got, and you're in a runoff out of all the money that you spent.
Well, that shows that's just. I think that's oversimplification. Again, you're talking about like a true monster.
Yeah.
How did that's of all the things that happened in Georgia race? I'll just say this real quickly. That I was not surprised. Like the Republicans swept every statewide race.
Yeah.
And it's disappointing that this guy, this monster, got this many votes.
No,
but that's what's going to happen.
I knew it was going to
That's
happen.
what it was. So
yeah.
it's completely just.
I mean,
I'll say this right now. If you voted for Herschel, that's a mindless vote.
Yeah, I knew why they ran him anyway. I mean, they wanted to get the minority vote. So I mean, you can call it whatever you want. They want to get a minority vote. So yeah, thank y'all for tuning in, John. I'm leaving with final thoughts. So we gotta hurry up and get off.
Yep. All right. Well, cheers. Like we got 3 more weeks to go. Yay. I'll just say that just be. We got the silly season coming up. The only thing I'll say is try to be wary of what you have and the people that don't have stuff. And if you can find someone that needs a sandwich, make sure they get a sandwich and keep an eye out for where you can deliver food.
Yeah.
And just think about it is the season of giving, so try to do best to give to those in need.
Yeah. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm piggyback off John with that. If you can find a family that's in need and be adopt a family to help them out for holidays. I mean, even if you don't celebrate the active religious part of it, but still for the holidays, adopt a family, donate food, donate toys for kids or whatever. But yeah, just do that's because I do this sometimes. Actually, I do that a lot. Adopt a family, help people out in this time of need because a lot of people are going without. People are getting laid off now, especially in these tech companies. So people are going to need some income coming in or some food. So, but thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all again next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Love you guys. Y'all be safe. Peace out.
Cheers.